The ocean is a vast and dangerous entity at the best of times because of its unpredictable and vengeful tides that can cause entire crowds to disappear without a trace. Nobody knows how many secrets lie captured underneath the surf, and one of the greatest mysteries of the sea is the untold numbers of undiscovered creatures who have made the sunless depths their home. From sea monsters to glowing algae, the beings that lurk beneath the waves are the things of legends. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we'll be taking a look at some ocean mysteries. Mariana Trench, deepest ever subdive, finds a plastic bag. Researchers today are finding objects that expose mankind's far-reaching impact on the ecosystem, and one of these was recently made at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. Victor Vescovo, a 53-year-old financier and former Navy Reserve captain, travelled approximately 7 miles to the bottom of the Mariana Trench. The dive, which surpassed a record set by Titanic filmmaker James Cameron in 2012, revealed sad proof of humanity's detrimental impact on the planet. The divers found plastic bags and wrappers at the ocean's deepest depths. Vescovo and his team identified 4 new species while travelling 35,853 feet below the surface, which could help throw light on Earth's enigmatic origins. Vescovo said the following: "I believe that going to extremes is a natural propensity of man, and I also believe that wanting to push ourselves to our limits is a beautiful component of our nature, which has helped us get to where we are now as a species." Although oceanographers Don Walsh and Jacques Piccard first investigated Challenger Deep in 1960, this is the first on-camera evidence of what lies beneath the Pacific. The goal of the project is to make sonar mapping of Earth's deepest locations, such as the Puerto Rico Trench in the Atlantic Ocean, the South Sandwich Trench in the South Atlantic, the Java Trench in the Indian Ocean, and the Malloy Deep in the Arctic Ocean. Vescovo continued with the following: "I crisscrossed all over the bottom looking for various wildlife, perhaps unique geological formations or rocks, man-made artifacts, and yes, trying to see if there was an even deeper position than where the bathyscaphe Trieste went back in 1960. Giant prawn-like amphipods and bottom-feeding sea cucumbers were among the findings found aboard the limiting factor, the world's first titanium-hulled 2-person submersible to go this deep. Also, the scientists want to examine the deep water critters for plastic buildup. While it is impossible to say how far those plastics drifted to end up in one of the world's lowest points, our oceans are quickly becoming giant trash cans. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch, an island of garbage the size of Texas in the open ocean between Hawaii and California, continues to add more man-made waste to its expanding surface area. Despite all of those dives, humanity has only seen about 5% of the ocean. Scientists are being pushed to develop new deep-sea research methods as part of a new X Prize initiative. Google Earth circular underwater anomalies. Google Earth has enabled researchers and the general population of the world to be able to explore various parts of the world through satellite imagery. Over the years, a number of strange anomalies have been detected on Google Earth. One such anomaly is that of the mysterious circles made underwater in different parts of the world. Most of these circular underwater anomalies have been found in North America. One site of these circular underwater anomalies is located off of the coast of North Carolina in the United States. The anomaly features multiple underwater circles that seem to have been made artificially. Another site of such an anomaly is located off the coast of Florida. The underwater circles near Florida seem to have a perfect circular shape. The third site is located off the coast of Yucatan in Mexico. The underwater circles at this site are quite similar to those found off the coast of Florida. Ancient civilizations created many circular geoglyphs in different parts of the world. However, they are all located on land. Researchers believe that there could be a possibility of some of the underwater circles being made by some ancient civilization. Some initial research work has indicated that these underwater circles could be ancient burial mounds. However, nothing conclusive can be said about these circles, until further research has been conducted. The sunken city of Cuba. A little over a decade ago, a team of explorers were working on an exploration and survey mission off the western coast of Cuba when all of a sudden, their sonar navigation equipment started picking up something absolutely bizarre. The technology was picking up a series of distinct stone structures lying 650 meters below the surface. The structures at first seemed remarkably similar to the desolate ocean floor, but upon further investigation, the structures were symmetrically organized stones similar to what you would find in an urban development. Of course, following this discovery, a media flurry soon began with headlines about the lost city of Atlantis being discovered in Cuba. With news coverage, these researchers also attracted the interest of the government, the National Geographic, and the National Museum, who promised to investigate the sonar images. Over a decade later, there is little research and no investigation to show for this unusual discovery. Pauline Zalitsky, a marine engineer, and her husband own the company based out of Canada called Advanced Digital Communications. They were working on a survey mission in conjunction with the Cuban government off the coast of Cuba. Advanced Digital Communications were one of 4 firms working in a venture with Fidel Castro's government to explore Cuban waters. Their primary interest was finding treasure-laden shipwrecks from the Spanish colonial era. The team was using heavily advanced equipment to scan the area when they noticed these bizarre structures. Some of these structures were formed with smooth blocks and geometric shapes. Other blocks looked like they were being built into pyramid shapes, others were completely circular. Months later, they returned to the site with another geologist, Manuel Iturralde Venente, the head investigator from Cuba's Natural History Museum. Knowing what they would find in this area, they returned with the appropriate technology to examine and record the structures. The large blocks seemed to resemble granite and measured about 8 feet by 10 feet. The investigator from the museum said that if he had to explain this geologically, he would have a hard time coming up with an answer. The main piece of this that is so confusing is that it would have taken around 50,000 years for such structures to have sunk into the depth at which they were found. The catch is that 50,000 years ago, there was not the archaeological capacity in any of the cultures we were aware of at the time to build such complex things. Despite such a media flurry, this story was soon buried, and the site left unresearched. The quick dismissal of the story has led some to question whether or not there has been suppression of information regarding the finding. Whether the leads just went cold or this is something that we were not supposed to find, we might not ever know. The massive size of Tamumusif. About 1,600 kilometers from the coast of Japan, a giant volcano named Tamumusif is present under the waters of the Pacific Ocean. It is the largest single volcano documented on Earth. It is estimated that Tamumusif covers an area of more than 100,000 square miles. This is roughly equivalent to the state of New Mexico or the British Isles. Tamumusif has nearly the same size as some of the big volcanoes discovered on the surface of Mars. The massive size of Tamumusif is quite mind-blowing, considering the fact that the second largest volcano on Earth, known as Mauna Loa, spreads on an area of only 2,000 square kilometers. The top of the Tamumusif volcano is buried about 6,500 feet below the surface of the ocean, and its base extends down to approximately 6.4 kilometers into the ocean floor. Tamumusif is made of basalt, and it has been found to be the oldest feature of Shatsky Rise, which is an oceanic plateau in the Pacific Ocean. Researchers have been studying the Shatsky Rise and the surrounding area for more than 2 decades. They have found that the slope of Tamumusif is much gentler when compared to other seamounts. The slope is estimated to be only 1 degree near the summit of the volcano. It is estimated to be less than half a degree down the flank. It is such a small angle that if a person was standing on Tamumusif, they would have a very hard time knowing which side was going downwards. Previously, researchers believed that there were several large volcanoes buried under that particular area of the Pacific Ocean. However, subsequent research showed that lava flows started from the center of Tamumusif
and travelled in all directions up to hundreds of kilometres. No signs of any secondary sources of volcanic activity were found. Researchers were astonished to find that what they thought to be several volcanoes was in fact one supervolcano that dwarfed every other volcano on the planet. It is believed that the volcano became inactive during the late Jurassic period, about 145 million years ago.
But what do you make of these interesting ocean discoveries? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.